What's going on, Eagles Nation? It's your boy Showtime 804 checking in with y'all back like we never left. Again, thanks to everybody who has liked, comment, or subscribed on my videos. And we're going to keep doing the same thing. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend, and we're going to keep this thing going on. So I wanted to make another video, get out here and talk to y'all again. Especially about what's been going on as far as talk with the Eagles this past week. And here it is, 2020, and we still have this same topic in hand about whether the Eagles should have kept Nick Foles or, re-sign Carson Wentz. Look here, people. Nick Foles is not walking back through that door. It's over. It's done. It's a foregone conclusion. He did what he did. He brought us a Super Bowl. And it's time to move on. Yes, keeping Carson was the better of the two choices. And it's easy to jump on, Carson Wentz and his injury history. But, let's be clear, Nick Foles is not absolved from that too. Tell me how many seasons Nick Foles has that he's played 16 games, and I'll wait. So I'll be waiting forever because that's the answer. He's never played full 16 games. Nick Foles is only going to be good for you in a 5 to 6 game stretch. Now, whether those 5 or 6 games are going to be at the beginning of the year or the end of the year, but that's all he's going to get you. You're talking about a guy who was benched with the Rams, albeit that was with Jeff Fisher, but that's here nor there. He was traded from the Eagles by Chip Kelly after pretty much a career year in 2013. 2014, he regressed. He had a 14 touchdown, 11 interception year, and that was with half the year. We were, I believe, 8-3, 7-3 at the time that he, broke his collarbone, and we still missed the playoffs because of Mark Sanchez. But, it was easy for Chip Kelly to trade him away because his ceiling is but so high. He fast forward, he goes to Jacksonville, and he's benched in favor of Gardner Minshew, and he's about to get benched again for Mitchell Trubisky. So that's the recurrent thing that he does. He shows you flashes of how good he can be, but then he's going to resort back to what he is. And like I said, I'm going to be forever grateful for Nick Foles bringing us, that feeling of winning the Super Bowl. But like I said, his ceiling, he's maxed out of his ceiling. He's going to be good in spurts. And I keep, harping back to that. But like I said, here we are 3 years later, and we still have the same topic at hand. He's not coming back. He may come back for that, one-day celebration. His number's not going to be retired. It's just that's not where he's at. And, and some of our fan base keeps falling for the clickbait. You're making guys like Max Kellerman seem important with his take on Carson Wentz. Yes, Carson Wentz is struggling, but it's not all of his doing. A lot of it is going with this coaching staff and how they're hindering him from doing what he does best. Doug Peterson is calling plays like we have a full arsenal, holding on to the ball like we have a top-notch offensive line. Like there's not, guys not making their first career starts on the offensive line on our team. We're mixing, matching, and plugging in players. The next man up mentality, we keep using that. And you can't call your offense like that. Calling plays that take, 30 yards down the field to develop as your first read, that's not setting your quarterback up for success. Carson doesn't have a strong running game to depend on the way that we did in 2017 with LeGarrette Blount and Jay Ajayi. That worked. That is a full functional running back group. We don't have that anymore. Yes, Miles Sanders is good, but he's also not a running back that you can lean on come fourth quarter of a game when you need to run a 4-minute offense. And I'm upset with Doug Peterson about, his take during the Brett Favre interview where Brett Favre, adamantly said that, the Eagles made the mistake in keeping Carson Wentz. We did not. We took the young of the quarterback with the higher ceiling, higher potential. That was the right choice to make because can you imagine what would happen if Nick Foles is struggling the way we're going to struggle? The way he's struggling? You're not going to do that. He's a front-running quarterback. He's not coming back double digits to win a game or even put you in a position to win a game. He is a front-running quarterback. That means he has to have the lead or else he's not successful. Even if it's a 3-point game, 4-point game, one possession game. That's where he can kind of thrive, but he's not digging you out of a 14-point hole. It's not going to happen. And, like I said, Doug Peterson, his take on it, he's entitled to his opinion, and Carson Wentz is like, yeah, he could have shut that down from the get-go. And immediately, you shut it down. They ask you, should you have kept, who the Eagles should have kept, Nick Foles or Carson Wentz in regards to that. And he just could have just came out with it. Carson Wentz is my quarterback in the store. And then he could have called Brett, if he's that good of a friend of his, he could have called him afterwards and hashed out the differences there. But to just his takes on it, it's just, he puts his foot in his mouth and it leaves Carson Wentz out to dry. And we wonder why this guy's struggling, because he's a head case about all the madness going on around him. Where is this guy calling his shots, or is this person pulling the strings? We need some stability going on. One voice is all Carson Wentz needs. We hired in these 3, offensive advisors in the offseason. And then he's got his friend as the quarterback coach. That's just too much. We need stability. If he needs tough coaching, then so be it. But we just have to scale back of everything that's going on around him. And like I said, the way Doug handled it is just wrong. And Doug needs to take an offseason to learn how to talk to the media again. Because in his earlier press conferences, he was just so forthcoming with all his answers. Now he's just so indecisive, as seen with the whole Mike Groh situation. Mike Groh he's going to be our coach. Less than a day later, he had to give up the results of him being an offensive play caller. He was fired the next day. And that's the type of thing that Doug has gone through, where he's just not, adamant about his answers. He's just too indecisive, trying to be politically correct, trying to be the nice guy. It's okay to be the Bill Belichick sometimes in the interview. And that's one that should have taken place with that Brett Favre thing. And like I said, it's just this growing tiresome that we have to keep going through this for Carson Wentz. The guy doesn't deserve that. And the flack that he gets from the fan base, like I said, he's not playing good, but it's not all on him. And people are calling to have this guy benched, and that's wrong. Like, Jalen Hurts is not going to be your answer. Jalen Hurts was benched at Alabama for not being able to produce at the quarterback, to be an actual quarterback. Yeah, he can take the ball in the shotgun and take off running, but that's not what you need. You need somebody who will be able to push the ball down the field. Jalen Hurts doesn't do that for you. And a lot of the fans are getting spoiled about his potential based upon how he played in Oklahoma with C.D. Lamb. You had a top-notch wide receiver in a division or conference that doesn't play any defense. So it's almost like taking a quarterback from Hawaii or out of their running gun offense, and then you see them throwing 5,000 yards in college, and then you wonder when they get to the pros why they can't make those throws, because everything takes context. And just be patient with Carson. I really do think they're going to get it together. Like, I'm a firm believer of Carson Wentz, or anybody that puts on the helmet for the Eagles. You put that jersey on, you have my undying support, and that's just going to be the way it is. I was a guy who rooted for Kevin Kolb at one point, thinking he was going to be the next big thing. But I had to curb my expectations a little bit after, I saw what he was producing on the field. But that comes with just being a fan. But just give it a rest. And I see people all the time, well, we should have kept Foles. And look how Foles is looking in Chicago. The only reason why he's even competitive in some of his games is because of Chicago's defense. They're able to get the ball back for him. It's fool's gold thinking about what Nick Foles is going to do over a long period of time. It's just not what he's going to give you. 5 or 6 games at the most. But, and like I said, it's just growing tiring that we have to keep talking about this. Fans, people out there, Eagles Nation, all of you, listen to me. Nick Foles is not taking another snap for us. He will be signed on a one-day deal so he can retire as a Philadelphia Eagle. But that's it. He's not going in the Hall of Fame. The Eagles are not retiring his number. He might get a special banner in the stadium, and that's about it. And another thing with the stadium, get rid of that damn statue. Of all the things that we keep talking about, what's going on with Carson Wentz, that statue is another thing. Take a picture of it, put it in Jeffrey Lurie's office or something like that. But outside of that, get rid of the statue. That is demoralizing. A guy who you were replacing, or not even replace, he was your replacement. And he's winning the employee of the year. You don't have those type of monuments or certificates for people who no longer work for your company. You get rid of them. It's just case in point. Get rid of the statue. It's time to go. And it's the media who's drawing up the hype. The Skip Baylesses, the Max Kellermans of the world. We add fuel to their fire whenever we agree with their takes. They make some of the worst takes ever in regards to the quarterback play. Max Kellerman is a boxing guy, so taking his word on football, you point. I don't know what you're thinking listening to him. Skip Bayless is a brain-dead Cowboy fan, and I love his show, but listening to him talk down about the Eagles, you know he's coming from a biased opinion. He's got hatred in his heart towards the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's just it. But Carson Wentz is going to turn this thing around. It may come from Jeff Lurie having to, get a pulse on the team and get some guys out of here and bring in someone who can get the job done. Because we're just seeing about how, Frank Reich takes care of some of his quarterbacks, looking at Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers, everybody thought he was just gone. He was washed up. And he's having somewhat of a resurgence of a career, not like when he was in his prime to throw the, the 40-yard, 40 touchdown, 30 touchdown season. But he's better than what he was in his remaining years with the Chargers. But we just have to find an identity on the team as well. Either we're going to be, let Carson do what he needs to do and just go from there. Find an offense that suits him in his point. And to bring back up with the Brett Favre thing, Carson Wentz got the moniker of being a gunslinger. And the one who he's closest compared to is Brett Favre. Now, a lot of times you see some of these older veteran players, they get threatened at their legacy whenever they see the next thing coming. Same thing with Michael Jordan. He felt, threatened and compelled to, dissuade any kind of opinion that, if Kobe Bryant was going to be the next Michael Jordan. And then it was the LeBron James. So anytime that they bring up, their up-and-coming players' name in their discussion, they try to shoot it down because their legacy feels threatened. When you look at Peyton Manning, there's probably never going to be another quarterback like Peyton Manning, unless it's his nephew. But you don't hear Peyton, take jabs at other players in the media. Donovan McNabb is another example. We love Donovan McNabb for what he did and what he contributed to with the Eagles. But anytime they start bringing up who's the better quarterback in the franchise history and Carson Wentz's name come up, Donovan McNabb is the first person to shoot it down. Why? Because some of these older athletes, they're bitter. Because Donovan McNabb went, the first 5 or 6 years of his career with the Eagles with no legitimate threats on the outside, and he pretty much had to do a lot on his own and rely on his defense. But when he sees the team going out to get Wentz weapons, they're signing free agents, they're drafting wide receivers for, our offense to be explosive. He can't get past that. And that's when you have to take, where are their point of their argument coming from? Is it a place of content or is it just bitterness? And we see that so many times with former players. Not just on our team, just in sports in general. Whenever there's a new athlete, the new flavor of the month that shows a potential threat to that older player's legacy, they lash out. It's just something about they can't get those egos in check where they can't just congratulate the next man. To be a professional athlete, you have to go through so much. And we see players tear down other players just to try to hold their own legacy up. Records are meant to be broken. Your place in history is going to be a place in history until somebody comes past and supersedes what you're trying to do. And that's just one point. It's just, like I said, it's just so frustrating. Like, we have our own fan base attacking each other because of their points and opinions on team. Yes, everybody has their own point. But at the end of the day, we're all Eagles fans. We should just be saluting whatever's, that emblem right there. It's about what's on the front of the jersey, not the back of the jersey. Those names are going to change, but that emblem is going to stay. And like I said, that's my take on it. That's my 2 cents on it. I'm going to try to I am going to drop another video, a preview of what we got going on with the Giants this week. But again, fly Eagles fly, Eagles Nation, let's go out here, let's get this dub.